Welcome DeathSpawn Mafia to the first episode of DeathSpawn Makes Food. As I stated in my streams earlier, in episode 1 of Call of Duty Warzone, and episode 3 of Gears 5, Let's Rank, I stated I was going to be making something that came from a family thing that I have heard about for years. They called Hippie Rolls. The story is that I was told...
Alright, DeathSpawn Mafia. As I just stated, I'm making hippie rolls in this video. This is episode 1 of DeathSpawn Makes Food. Enjoy the video. I'm going to do some editing through this, so please do not over criticize. It's my first time. Tell me some things I can do. We'll go from there, alright? Love you, DeathSpawn Mafia. Let's get at it.
Green bell peppers, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I'm specified. And onions, diced up, sauteed together, and then put inside. Now, for some people that didn't want it spicy, they didn't add the jalapeno peppers, or if they didn't care for onions and stuff like that, my family would accommodate to them. And since I'm going to be cooking, I'm going to turn this around, make this a little easier for myself. But, the basic concept is to make this kind of like a giant pig in a blanket with pizza dough, right? So here's some of the ingredients. I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see. I have diced myself up some portobello mushrooms. For my wife's kind, because this is her preference, she prefers her grounded up. So we have grounded Italian sausage. I just realized we turn on light, so it's a little.
Alright, DeathSpawn Mafia. So at this point, this is when I realize, holy crap, the light of the stove isn't enough. Let me turn on the actual kitchen light, right?
So
rookie mistake. I try to show y'all things, y'all can't even see what I'm doing. But let me go ahead and explain. So I diced up some portobello mushrooms. I had some pico de gallo, because that gave me some more onions, tomatoes, stuff like that.
With sauce and stuff like that. I'm doing mine kind of special for my daughter.
You don't have to have that kind of stuff, like I stated a little bit ago in the video. I don't know if you could hear me over my ranting, but some of them, for my family, the way we were doing it was always with just jalapeno peppers, onions, some chopped up bell peppers,
for me,
and that's it. And then you sauteed that together, and then you put it inside the pizza dough.
Usually they go with my.
I'm gonna let myself here continue to talk.
I know it doesn't seem like I can take hot food.
Yeah, you can make these however you want. You'll see that in the video.
Which is DeathSpawn Gaming on YouTube, DeathSpawn 1725 on Twitch, and
alright, so here's the thing. I need to go ahead and correct myself right here, right now. This is the first actual technical correction throughout the video. It is not DeathSpawn Gaming on YouTube. I want it to be soon, so hopefully you come over, you subscribe, you watch this video, and you watch DeathSpawn Beats Food here in the,
for those of you
hopefully, future.
Check out my YouTube channel.
And continue to watch DeathSpawn Makes Food and some of the behind the scenes videos I'll be doing on the punishment portions for DeathSpawn Gaming channel on Facebook.
Capital B.
Right, so that's what I was supposed to say. It was supposed to be DeathSpawn Gaming on Facebook. You can also find me on Twitch at DeathSpawn1725.
He's on Twitch
and on Twitter on DeathSpawn1725. Let me let y'all get back to the video.
Hulu Gaming on Facebook, and my boy Lethal Leaf on Twitch as well. But I digress. That's for the gaming channel. This is for the cooking channel. So what we're gonna do, I've already got this here. We're turning it on now. Right. That's when it kind of warmish in heat. You're gonna saute and basically make these as crispy as you can. Give me 1 second. But literally, I mix all of my ingredients together.
Alright, so DeathSpawn Mafia, let me also state right here at this point, there's another step you can do that will actually make this faster and easier. I skipped it because I was actually trying to just kind of, I was in a hurry making this video, if I'm being 100% honest. Take those vegetables, put them in on a towel, lay them across, and then take your other dish towel and just pat them real well, right? Just to pull the moisture out of them and the condensation that's on it currently. Put those in there like that. Then you can saute them, yes, and as well, what I like to do, you see the air fryer right there beside it. Usually I'll take them out and put it on air fry or actual crisp, and I will blacken them. I'll darn near burn them to give them that crisp. But I'll let myself talk again, and I will be here soon making another correction in the video to explain what I was actually doing. And yeah.
Next thing is, I got this spray butter. It's one of my go-to uses when I'm cooking because it's a little bit more simple. I take it because I want it to brown as it cooks. So I'm gonna add that nice little butter to it, right? I'm gonna take my stirring spoon. I'm just gonna kind of give it a nice little stir here, keeping all the ingredients together. For this in particular one, this is probably one of the easiest meals you're gonna actually see me cook when it comes to like the full-fledgedness of the meal, because there is nothing you got to do except for this, right? All you have to do is pan sear.
Listen to me try to make and use words that I've heard from other cooks. I am not a chef, never been to culinary school. I know for a fact they used the wrong word. Pan searing would be for like meats when you actually sear the outside. You are cooking it a little bit on the outside real fast and not cooking the inside. You don't sear these. You're basically going to saute them. And then I would do what I recommended. After you've sauteed them for a good bit, I would throw them in the air fryer, turn it on crisp, and let it get that way. Let me get back to the video. I just wanted to correct myself there. I will say that a few times throughout the video, so I'm not going to continue to correct myself for it. But no, I've noticed I said that and I was wrong.
That way when I put them inside the pizza dough with the sausage, which is the next step, right? So, next step is my portion. It takes the longest to do out of the other two versions. Hot dog and ground sausage. I'm going ahead and doing the peppers because it takes longer to saute and crispen up all the vegetables and mushrooms, so on and so forth. And then compared to the ground sausage. Alright, so now we're gonna take these right here. Alright. We're gonna prepare our Ninja Foodi by turning it on. Right.
Alright, let me really actually specify what I'm doing here. So I'm going to actually go ahead and put my 5 sausages in this thing. And I'm going to set it for 5 minutes. I'm using this to kind of help time how long I'm cooking the vegetables more so than the sausages. They will not be done after these 5 minutes. I may say that in the video. If I do, I'm wrong. I have sometimes confused at that point when I said that. It takes 5 minutes to cook them after they've been cooked with the pizza dough. Anywhere between 5 to 8 minutes. Depends on the size of the dough that's wrapped around it. But I'm strictly doing this so I can go ahead and start cooking them because it takes about 15 minutes to cook them. I'm going to go ahead and start cooking them using that as a timer to kind of reference how long I'm cooking the peppers. Put it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the max, and go to town.
Basically, we want to cook the sausages through, right? To a point where I can slice them in half. That's why you're going to get about between 10 to 12. Right, it should be 10 because there's 5. I thought it was 6 sausages, it ended up being 5. So I should be able to make 10 out of it. Pretty fairly easily. So, while that sits there for the next 5 minutes, we're going to continue to let this do its job. Probably for another 2 to 3 minutes before I actually open and do another stir. Once we've done that, then I'm going to just continue to stir and continue to work on making it crisp up. And then we'll get those on a plate. That way, I can get it out of here. Right? Get it onto the plate. Move it over to my prepping station. Usually your prepping station
you want to look something like this, right? Some aluminum foil, because that's where you're going to put your pizza dough, and then you're going to have your other ingredients over there. So that's what you want for that. That's how you want to handle that. I'll be back with y'all momentarily. Yeah, so I don't know how many of y'all noticed it in the background, sitting over here with my flour and my homemade salsa from my wife's. Okay, yeah, so I'm about to explain some item that is going to be a part of a punishment challenge portion for a video game here in the near future. It's something called Texas. It is ghost pepper salsa, and that ghost pepper salsa is something I found at Walmart, and you will see it throughout this whole video. Every time I pan over to the skillet, me sauteing the vegetables, you'll see it. It taunts me through this whole video. Pop the lid. Always make sure you have a nice, safe area to put it. Otherwise, you'll be like me and have editing all that in there, right? Where it's gonna go. So I had to cut that out of the video. But get back to this part. You can see it's all starting to look pretty good. Next, more sauteed, like I said, right? That's how you kind of want it to start off. Give it a nice, good little mixy mix here. All right. Boom. Now let's add that butter. Now we'll leave this open. For those of you that cook, you already know. Turn that sucker up on high. Because now you want to cook it fast, because you want to actually start basically crisping it up as almost like a form of burning for these type of vegetables, because they're already wet. They have a lot of condensation to them and juice. So making them crisp is actually quite difficult. Okay, so I want to reiterate, I'm using words I shouldn't be using. In this instance, condensation's wrong. Second, I've already explained how to help with the moisture. Take your towel, paper towel, rag, doesn't matter. Pat them dry, put them in there, and it'll work a lot easier and a lot faster. Adding the butter is to add seasoning, nothing really more, and butter does kind of, when it gets really hot, it does blacken and add a little crunch onto the vegetables. Now also, like I stated, you're about to see the Ninja Foodi just cut off, so I'm about to actually let these set for a minute. Boom, pop it open. As you can see, they're still not cooked. They still don't cook for about another 10 minutes. Like I said, anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes is where you want to cook these to actually have the sausages fully done. Remember the 400 degrees Fahrenheit on bake. I put it at 10 minutes since I already cooked it at 5. And then you'll see me, I'll stir this around quite a bit. To be honest, I'm stirring it more than I really need to. But it's because I do not have a large kitchen or a decent, really large house. And I don't really want to smoke things up. Alright, so here we are. Already, I'm making 3 talk abouts in a row. This is going to be the most you're going to hear from me really in this video when it comes to editing and talking. So I'm about to start describing the way this smells. It basically, it smells great, guys. The fragrance of the peppers, the onions, the butter, the mushrooms, everything's just, it's very aromatic. It smells great. Yeah, so just know that it is peppers. So whenever you're cooking peppers, it is going to start kind of give you that kind of cough and stuff like that. But outside of that, I mean, it's really good. It smells great. So yeah, let me get back at it. Now I'm just gonna leave it alone for a minute. Let it do its thing again. For now, I'll put the lid back on. I'll pop it back open in just a few moments. I mean, I will not
at all. Because like I said, you want it basically open most of the time. That way it's staying hot and keeping that air in, and it's actually not just putting steam in and re-moisturizing your meat. Or, in this case, your vegetables. You want it to... I'm sorry. Whew.
Come on, DeathSpawn, old boy. Hold it together. Hold it together. Get your words together. Get them out. Alright, so what I'm trying to say here is that basically leave the lid off as much as you can so you're not building up steam inside and actually putting liquid back in the vegetables. The same principle does go for meat as well, but as I just got done saying, you seen what I was saying about the peppers? That's what I keep choking up on. The peppers in there is quite spicy in the air. It's not hot, but if anybody's ever been OC'd or sprayed by pepper spray, you know what I'm talking about. It's that type of feeling, it's that type of sensation, just because it chokes you up a little bit. Alright, all this is done. I'm about to just go ahead and turn this off for now. I will turn it back on. I will need it again for the meat. But we'll just let the pepper sit in that for right now. Let it simmer a little bit more on that high heat. The reason I'm turning it off is I don't want to burn the skillet, nor do I want to actually smoke up the house by burning it. Which, thus far, so good. Come on, old chap. Just covered that a few moments ago. Yeah, I don't want to smoke up the house. I've made that mistake too many times. Not by burning the food, but by the skillet itself getting too hot and small particles on the bottom, like butter, stuff like that, burning and smoking up the house. Yeah, so be careful of that, guys. It sucks. The areas that you've used once. Otherwise, you're cross-contaminating not so much foods, because it's cooked foods, right? Not a big deal. But you're cross-contaminating the flavors. So my wife and daughter, they don't like spicy foods. So therefore, I don't want to cross-contaminate the jalapeno juice and stuff like that into theirs.
Other things I recommend, these fancy little silicone gloves with fingers really come out massively useful in situations this. I can actually grab this sausage and pull it out of there. It is ready, right? That's great. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these things. You see how golden brown they are? That's how you know they're done, right? Look at it. It's done. We're going to take this back over to my prepping area. That's why I've got all this aluminum foil over here. We're going to set them there. We're going to let them cool off while we prepare the wine owl, her portion, which needs the skillet, as well as will my daughter's. But while we're doing that, as you can see, I've made a mess in there, right? We're going to go ahead and real quick, we're going to wipe that down. I recommend keeping your glove on because this thing right here, it is going to be hot. Now I know you're wondering, what else are you going to cook inside that DeathSpawn? Well, when we get to the main parts of the ingredients, I will show you what I'm going to do and what I'm going to make. At that point in time, the part that you're going to see, I will need assistance from the wine owl for the recording portion so she can show exactly what I'm doing. Because I will need both hands in that situation. Alright, so as you can see, putting the wife's mild Italian sausage up on there. Alright, so I'm about to show you a really cool tool that I found at Walmart for mixing up raw meats and for cooking and for chopping up your meat when it's cooked. Don't do what I'm about to do. Wrong. No, use your spatula, let it brown on both sides real good, and then start doing that. The only time you want to do that is if it's in a bowl and you're mixing seasonings. I was just doing this to play around, kind of show y'all what it
is capable of doing. I'm just giving you a quick example. Do not do it while it's raw. It's not as easy to do. But I'm going to re-clean it as well, just so I can have a nice clean one. As you can see, nice and clean now. I'm going to continue to let it brown for a little bit longer. You can, if you would like, use a spatula to pick up what you have. Maybe flip it. And I honestly normally will, just like I am now, do that. But I wanted you to show that thing, man. Like, I don't know if any of you other cooks out there have seen it yet. I'm sure you have, or how many of you actually try it. It works pretty good. So like, I use it on my raw meat when I'm trying to mix in seasonings. So when I cook hamburgers and I cook taco meat, I put a little seasoning on the outside as I cook too. I like to actually mix all mine together, and this comes in handy for that. That new tool does, not my spatula. Obviously my spatula works for flipping. But once most of this gets a nice good brown look to it, I'll pull that out and I'll just, like I showed you with the raw, I'll smash it and it'll chop it up real nice and fine. You'll see what I'm talking about here momentarily. Just to show y'all how this thing works, man. Look at this. Watch this. See those nice big thick chunk pieces? No, that's not Corona, that's just the peppers inside the sausage choking me up a little bit. It'll get it nice and chopped up for you, like it's supposed to be, nice and grounded again, so you don't have a bunch of thick chunky pieces. I'm going to continue with this. We'll get back to the video. I've already got a 22-minute video, and I know y'all don't want it to last that much longer. Alright, DeathSpawn Mafia. So now, because I sliced these in half, I know you're wondering why I only got 2. It's going to give my daughter 4. She'll probably only end up eating the 2, but that is what it is. I'm going to slice these in half, and then I'm going to stick them in this bag right here of some Kraft barbecue sauce. Normally I'd make it by scratch. I say scratch, let me rephrase the word. I would make it homemade, which means I'd take ingredients from my fridge and I would make actual barbecue sauce from that. I wouldn't actually take like tomato and all that stuff. You get what I'm saying. But I would make my own. We had some Kraft in the fridge. I've also got some other barbecue sauce I need to use just because I've had it. So I'm going to go ahead and get these sliced in half real quick, put them in that bag, and then I'm going to put them, that's right, cleaned it again. Always clean it afterwards if you're cooking for multiple people and you're having to accommodate for their styles of food. They're in the skillet. You want them good and saucy like that. You want to wait for my style. For my, you can have them saucy. You don't even have to wait. You don't even have to put them in the skillet if you want them to be saucy. She won't. So I'm gonna leave them in there until they kind of get a blackened look, and that is how hers will be done. I increased the temperature a little bit. Probably one of the easiest of all the steps because I didn't have to dice anything. I didn't have to pulverize anything. You know what I'm saying? Put it in a bag, get some sauce on it, throw it in there. That's it. Look at that. You kind of want to get them either golden brown like that, even black like that. If you're trying to get rid of the sauce, those would be the best ways to have them. My little girl loves them. I'm sure a lot of kids do that don't care for condiments. Like my daughter is very picky.
she has an egg allergy, so she's always afraid she's gonna come across the eggs. And I don't think it's the whole egg, because she could eat certain things and not get affected. But and we know she's for real got it. It's not her.
So in this part of the video, I really just talk about Pebbles having a egg allergy. It is more of a surface alert. Be kind of cautious. Look out for that kind of stuff. Things that you don't know or don't expect to have eggs, they may have eggs in it. So just check it out. Anyway, I'm gonna let myself continue. We're about to round out near the end. A lot of things could be done faster if you have somebody helping you. I'll explain that here in a moment when I get to that part.
They're coming across ice cream that has eggs in it. So, I guess service alert.
Alright.
Alright, that's my mafia. We're in the prepping stage. This is the second to the last stage. So what I've done is I've set out parts of my sausage to kind of give myself an idea of pre-prep sizes. Alright,
DeathSpawn Mafia. So right here, what you're seeing is me struggling because I don't usually do this step anymore. I used to back in the day. But after me and my wife got together, she started doing it because it was quicker. It made dinner get around faster. She usually cuts the pizza dough and actually does the stretching across. So she's actually better at that than I am. I'm the better cook, so I do all the actual cooking. We just kind of work together. If you have family members and stuff like that that you're cooking with and for, maybe they can do the same, they can help you out. But yeah, so if it looks like I'm struggling, I am a little bit, but that's why.
Items the same way. My daughter's is the most simple. Gonna give a nice little slice here. I didn't give myself enough of my height slice on the last one, so I'm gonna do a little more. With this situation, daughter's is simple. It's literally just that, right? She just wanted a hot dog, so just a hot dog she gets with some pizza dough, right? So like I said, wrap it up nice and good until you get something that looks similar to that. Ground sausage. The way you want to work that is you want to take some of your ground sausage. You want to basically give the same length as with my Italian sausage. So what I actually do, personally, I take a little bit of my sausage and I make sure I get the same length, basically the same height. I'll remove it. That way now I know how I need that. I do the same thing. Repeat the process of slicing my dough. Now for my wife, she likes cheese with hers. She's the only one who likes it that way. A lot of people do, let me rephrase that, but in my household, she's the only one that likes it this way. So I take just enough to get a nice good spread across. Same thing. Inner fold like you would a burrito in this kind of aspect. Inner fold. Take the outsides. Hers become more like little pig balls because it's grounded up meat. So because it's grounded up meat, it comes apart. It turns into a little ball. I do to give it back its little shape. I give it a little squish. Boom. What we do from there is we're going to take these, we're just going to start with these three. And then I'm going to continue to cook my meal for my family without the recording. Should be the recording the whole time. Alright, I'm going to stick them in the Food Ninja. But I spread them out so they're not touching each other because the dough will rise. As it rises, it's going to actually touch. Turn it on, put it on bake, 400 degrees, and on this one, I know earlier I said 5 minutes, that's where I got my numbers mixed up. I was thinking about this stage. Anywhere between 6 to 7 minutes. We're going to do 7 minutes for these, just for the simple fact that I have that. This
will literally be the final correction I make. I explain it right there, which is I explained it correctly. You can go from 5 all the way up to 8 minutes. It's gonna depend on the size of your hippie roll. I think I explained this earlier.
So we got about.
So yeah, just kind of be cautious of that. You know, watch how much it is. Right, it's going to fluctuate between that. This is the end of the video, so I'm gonna let you finish off with just me, but appreciate you watching. Hope you come back for the next episode. Peace out, DeathSpawn Mafia.
Then continue just to leave them as they are. If they're starting to get somewhat golden, go ahead and rotate and flip them. The reason you're going to rotate and flip them is because you're going to want to golden the other side that's been sticking to the bottom of the Foodi, the Ninja over here, right? So that way it gets golden brown near the top too. Alright, so they are finally finished, right? Look at these things, man. They are beautiful. Golden brown. My daughter's, she'll probably just end up with pizza dough just to get to the hot. My wife's, they're actually really good, ladies and gentlemen. I recommend you make these at least once. If you like sausage or even hot dogs, like the idea of pigs in a blanket, they're very similar to like a calzone. Make these. Just tell me what you think. Leave some comments down below. Remember, smash that bell, right? Swipe up, smash the bell. Go from there. And until next time, when I bring you the next episode of DeathSpawn Makes Food, peace out, DeathSpawn Mafia.